Hi, my name is John Paris. I'm the Associate Director of the Valdosta State University Counseling Center, and I'm just going to give you some information about our facility and the services that we can provide to students. The VSU Counseling Center is a professional resource. We have a staff of licensed clinicians that work with the student body, and all of our goals and missions are in keeping with the goals and missions of the university as a whole. We also have the Alcohol and Other Drug Education Office housed within the Counseling Center, and we also have the Health Promotions Office up on the second floor of the Student Health Center with us. We also serve as a clinical practicum site for different graduate school programs to help counselors, social workers, marriage and family therapists in training. And we want to build an environment that's inclusive and respectful of diversity and all the varieties of experience that students will bring to us at the university. The Counseling Center is a free resource. Students don't have to pay at all to come utilize our services. Our services are covered through Student Affairs, and we can work with them on a variety of issues. Pretty much whatever they bring to us, we can assist with. Some of the things that we discuss in counseling include achieving academic goals, managing coursework, test anxiety, more generalized stress and anxiety, lack of motivation or feeling depressed, whether it's situational depression or maybe a more severe clinical depression. We can also manage chronic or emerging mental health conditions, and we can refer out to community providers for medication management and other issues if they are outside the scope of what we can provide at the Counseling Center. We also discuss relationship concerns and conflicts with roommates and friends. All these things are very common for people that are experiencing college life. Dating violence or sexual assault obviously is a very serious issue, and we provide counseling services for individuals that are dealing with the after effects of one of those kinds of traumatic situations, and we also provide outreaches that work to educate students on the risks and the ways that they can protect themselves and engage in responsible dating and interpersonal behavior. We also help them adjust to social life at college and sort of find their niche on campus. We help them maintain their connection with their support systems back at home and also to develop new ones at the university. We also help them learn skills for balancing academic, relational, financial, social type of demands that they have, just to basically essentially time manage all of the different responsibilities and obligations that they have as a college student. We can also explore managing and resolving grief issues if they've lost a family member or friends at any time. We can also explore effective communication with people in the college environment and also in other areas of the student's life. And then we can also certainly advise and collaborate with the student on making decisions about their educational and career directions. And we can also refer them to the Career Opportunities Office, which is over at the Student Union Building, for additional support in that area. Our philosophy that guides how we provide clinical services at the Counseling Center, it's based on a holistic approach to individual growth and development. That basically means that we're going to look at all aspects of an individual's life and experience and work on systemic solutions and help and guide the student towards them developing solutions that are elegant and that take into account all the different contexts in which they function. Our primary emphasis, as it says here, is on short-term counseling and therapy that will meet their personal, social, and educational concerns. We want everyone to have the most satisfying and full collegiate experience while they're at Valdosta State University, as well as being prepared emotionally and behaviorally for the challenges of life after university. A lot of people come to us for a whole host of reasons. There's not any typical presentation for what a student brings to us, and as a result, that holistic approach helps us to meet the student where they're at, where they live, and to assist them in meeting the goals that they set out for themselves for their counseling. Any kind of issue that an individual is concerned with is appropriate for counseling. We can talk about anything that is a concern to the student and work with them on developing solutions and goals that will move them towards the type of outcome that they would like. The specific services that we provide include assessment, and now starting this year we're actually using what they call a triage model of service delivery. And so what that means is when a student would contact us for an initial consultation, we would have a phone meeting with them for about 20 minutes, and we would get some basic information from them and kind of see what their concerns are. And from that, we would then set up, if counseling services are indicated, then we would set up a full intake and discuss with the student, here are the services that we can provide and that sound like they will be the most beneficial to you. And then we would ask the student if that's something that they're interested in pursuing. The standard model of care that we use is personal counseling, one-to-one counseling, and primarily this year we're doing that through telemental health. We're using Microsoft Teams as the platform, so that way we can see the student and utilize video and audio and do real-time counseling that's as close to face-to-face counseling as we can get while still maintaining safety as a result of the pandemic. We also provide group counseling services. Again, this is something that we're doing virtually through Microsoft Teams, and we're going to have several different group counseling topics. This year we'll have a self-care 101 group. We're going to have groups on how to effectively manage anxiety, both general anxiety and specific test or performance anxieties. We'll have a group on managing depression. And if you're interested in any of those groups, don't hesitate to contact us. We also do crisis management and care, and typically we work to stabilize crises before they escalate and get worse. This can include referring a student for short-term hospitalization if they're in a serious mental health crisis. We also do consultations for both students and faculty, and those are essentially one-time sessions where we work on solving a particular issue that's maybe a short-term or a limited-term type of concern. We can do these for faculty and staff as well, as I mentioned, but typically that one consultation we're going to be looking at connecting that individual with community resources or some kind of assistance through the employee assistance program that Human Resources provides at the university. As I mentioned earlier, we also refer to community resources. There are many public and private mental health resources if the needs of the individual student are outside of the scope of the practice of the VSU Counseling Center. And lastly, we do outreach programs. It's very, very similar to what I'm doing now, that basically focus on delivering information to groups of people on campus. That can be groups of students or faculty or staff on specific topics that the faculty and staff or students are interested in that relate to mental health and well-being. And so that's the general overview of the services that we can provide. As you can see, we do a pretty wide-ranging service delivery model here. And so if you have any questions about those, don't hesitate to contact us. So there's some frequently asked questions that we get all the time from students on campus and from stakeholders, faculty and staff and other individuals that work with students. The most common one is who can use the center. And as I mentioned earlier, counseling services are available only to students, and all these services are provided free of charge. We do consultation and referral services for students, faculty, and staff, but those are one-time type of appointments. But generally, our standard service delivery model is for students, and that is free of charge for the students, and all they have to do is call us, and we'll talk about that here in just a minute. Another frequently asked question is regarding our hours, and we're open 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Monday through Thursday, and 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Friday. So those are pretty much the typical business hours of Valdosta State University. Our telephone number, which I'll give you in a slide coming up, is available 24/7, and after business hours, that the counseling center phone number is connected with a triage nurse, a mental health triage nurse, and they can assist a student if they're students in crisis or they need information for services, and they can also dispatch a mobile crisis team to a student, whether they're on campus or off campus. So essentially what we have is a 24/7 availability for any kind of mental health crisis, but also if it's a subacute or a non-emergency situation, the mental health triage nurse that's on call can also give them information about our hours and our services that we have available, and so that the student can then contact us during business hours. And another very common question on campus is, do I need an appointment to see a counselor at the VSU Counseling Center? Counseling sessions are scheduled by appointment, and you can call us at 333-5940 to schedule an initial phone assessment. That's the little short 15-20 minute assessment that we do with all new student referrals. All ongoing sessions are scheduled via appointment. The only exception to that is if there's an emergency or crisis situation. We have counselors that are available every day in the morning and afternoon to handle unforeseen crisis situations, and so of course those are handled as they emerge. And otherwise, all other appointments are done via appointment. And so if a student is interested in making an appointment, they would just call us, and we can typically the same day or sometimes the next day get back with them for the phone assessment, where they talk with the counselor on the phone, and then they determine what their treatment needs would be and what sort of counseling services would be indicated for them. So that's a general overview of the counseling center and what kind of services that we can provide. Again, our number is 229-333-5940. So if you have any questions or comments or concerns, don't hesitate to call us. Again, our business hours are 8 in the morning until 5:30 p.m. on Monday through Thursday, and 8 in the morning until 3 p.m. on Friday. And of course, this year, this fall semester, we're primarily doing telemental health using Microsoft Teams for our service delivery model. But of course, with emergency crisis situations, we can do face-to-face counseling. We're also doing outreach on campus, but we're primarily doing it either via virtual Microsoft Teams type of presentations to classrooms, or these pre-recorded presentations such as this one, because we have several other presentations that we're doing on a variety of topics that are relevant to students and to college life. So if you're interested in those, please don't hesitate to contact us. Also, a lot of this information is also available on our website, and our website is on the valdosta.edu, and then you can just search for Counseling Center, and then we have a lot of great information and resources there, and a lot of YouTube links as well for different types of topics related to mindfulness and meditation and self-soothing and managing test anxiety and building social relationships. So feel free to take a look at our website, and if you have any difficulty accessing anything on the website, again, don't hesitate to call us, and we'll help you with accessing that information. So thanks so much for your time, and hope to hear from you. And remember that that counseling is helpful for everybody. So call us and schedule a brief phone assessment if you're interested. Thanks so much.